Hello guys, greetings from Placement Ski. Let's solve a few previous year questions asked in Wipro NLH Elite. This is the first part of the playlist that comprises the previous year questions. Let's solve the first question. If 15 pence cost rupees 90, what will be the cost of 22 pence? Yeah, it's a very easy question. You should not take more than 10 seconds to answer this question. 15 pence cost rupees 90. So how much does each pen cost? It costs rupees 90 by 15. So 15 ones, 15, 6. So each pen costs rupees 6. We are supposed to find the cost of 22 pens. So the cost of 22 pens is what? 22 into 6, which is 6 to 12, 6 to 12, 132. So the answer is option A, right? It's a very simple question. Let's move on to the next one. After spending two-thirds of his salary on rent and food items, okay, and one-fourth of the remaining on transportation, Rajesh has rupees 6,000 left with him. How much did he pay on transportation? Okay, so he spent two-thirds of his salary on rent and food items. I'm writing it here. On rent and food items, he spent two-thirds of his salary. And then one-fourth of the remaining on transportation. So on transportation, he spent one-fourth of the remaining salary. So please mark this. It is not one-fourth of his salary. It is one-fourth of the remaining salary. Okay. Even after spending on rent and food items and transportation, still he's left with rupees 6,000. Okay. How do we go about it? It's an equation based question. We'll have to just frame an equation because we have a value 6,000 given here. We'll have to assume a value for the total salary that he gets. Okay. What can we take? Can we take the salary to be X? If we take the salary as X, we have fractions that get involved during the calculations. So what we shall do is, rather than assuming salary to be X, we shall assume salary to be a multiple of 3 as well as 4. I repeat, in order to avoid fractions, we are assuming a value for X which is a multiple of both 3 as well as 4, because those are in the denominators, right? Therefore, we are assuming the salary to be 12x and not x. Okay, now that the salary is 12x, let's see what happens. How much did he spend on rent and food items? I'm writing it here. On rent and food items, he spent two-thirds of his salary, that is 12x. So what is it that you've got? 3 ones, 3 fours, so it is rupees 8x. See, there is no fraction involved, right? Similarly, on transportation, he spent one-fourth of the remaining salary. So total salary is 12x, and then he spent 8x on rent and food items. Therefore, the remaining salary is 12x minus 8x, that is 4x. Okay. Therefore, on transportation he spent one-fourth of remaining salary, that is 4x. So how much did he spend on transportation? It is 8x. So totally how much did he spend till now? He spent 8x till now, sorry, 9x till now. 8x on rent and food and then x on transportation. He spent 9x. So how much is remaining? We know that his total salary is how much? I'm just erasing this here. We know that his total salary is 12x, right? And then till now he has spent 9x. So how much is remaining? It is 3x. So out of his salary, only 3x is remaining, which is equivalent to rupees 6,000 given in the question, right? Because it's given that after having spent so much on rent and food and then on transportation, he is remainder of rupees 6000. Therefore 3x is 6000, where x is equal to 2000. So effectively x value we've got it as 12,000. Now what are we supposed to find? Are we supposed to find x value? Let's read the question. How much did he pay on transportation? So on transportation, we have seen here, on transportation he has spent rupees x. Therefore we are supposed to find the value of x. Therefore the answer is rupees 2000. Please read the question carefully. The mistakes that the student may commit in this question is because they would not have read the question properly, because here there is a catch. 1/4 of the remaining on transportation, that may be the first mistake that the students may commit, and the second one is they don't read the question properly. How much did he pay on transportation is the question. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Find the remainder when 8 followed 63 times is divided by 9. 8 is repeated how many times? Totally 63 times. We are supposed to find the remainder when it is divided by 9. Okay. Now what is the divisibility rule for 9? Divisibility rule for 9. The sum of digits should be divisible by 9. Isn't it? Let's say randomly I'm taking a number. Let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is this number divisible by 9? How do we check it? We just add the digits. Okay. 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5. So how much is it? 1 plus 2 is 3, 3 plus 3 is 6, 6 plus 4 is 10, 10 plus 5 15. Is 15 divisible by 9? No. Therefore, this entire number is not divisible by 9. It is as simple as this. Just add the digits, okay, and then check whether the digital sum, or the sum of the digits, is divisible by 9 or not. It's as simple as that. In this case, since the number is 8 followed 63 times, what is the sum of digits? Sum of digits. It is 8 plus 8 plus 8, so on. How many times? 63 times. Right? So 8 is repeated 63 times. Therefore 8 plus 8 plus 1 63 times. So what is the value? It is 8 into 63. Right? So this is the sum of digits that we've got. Now let's see whether the sum of digits is divisible by 9 or not. Is 8 into 63 divisible by 9? Yes, it is. Why? Because 9 ones, 9 sevens. Therefore, since the sum of digits is exactly divisible by 9, this entire number is divisible by 9. Therefore, the remainder when this number is divided by 9 is 0. Is that clear? Shall we move on to the next question? The only rule that we are applying is the divisibility rule for 9. What is the divisibility rule for 9? The sum of digits should be divisible by 9. Find the sum of the first 50 common terms of, you're given two series here, right? 12, comma 16, comma 20, so on. This is the first series that we've got, and then the second series is 18, comma 24, comma 30, and so on. Shall we fill the series? 12, 16, 20. So what is happening here? If you observe this carefully, 12 plus 4 is 16, 16 plus 4 is 20. So what should be the series? It has to be what? 24, 20 plus 4, then 24 plus 4 is 28, 28 plus 4 is 32, 32 plus 4 is 36, 40, 44, 48 is just a multiple of 4s, right? So this is the series. Okay, shall we move on to the next series here? 18, 24, 30. So if we observe the series carefully, there is a common difference of 6 between the first two numbers. There is a common difference of 6 between the second two the next set of numbers. Therefore the next number is what? 30 plus 6, that is 36. 18 plus 6 24, 24 plus 6 30, 30 plus 6 36, 36 plus 6 is 42, 42 plus 6 is 48, then we have a 54, then we have a 60. These are all multiples of 6, isn't it? 60, then we have 66, then we have 72, so on. Right? So these are the numbers in the second series. Okay. Now we are supposed to find the sum of the first 50 common terms. If you observe these two series, what is the first common term that we can observe? 12 is 12 here, no. 16, no. 20, no. What is common? Yeah, 24 is common, right? So the first common term in these two series, I'm writing the common term series here. The first term is 24. 24 is common in both the series. Now let's try to see if there is any other term that is common. The next common term, 30 no, 36 no, 28 no, 32 no, 36 yes, right? 36 yes. There's 36 here, there's a 36 here, right? So the next common term is 36. Shall we find the next common term? 36, 40, 44, 48 yes. There's a 48 here, there's a 48 here. Therefore 48 is also common. So this is the common term series that we have got, right? 24, 36, 48. Again, it's a series, right? What is it? The difference between these two terms is 12. The difference between these two terms is also 12. Therefore, the common terms repeat after every 12 terms. So what should be the next common term? 48 plus 12 is 60, right? Then it is 60 plus 12 is 72. So this is the common term series. Now we are supposed to find the sum of first 50 common terms of this series. So how do you find that? I'm writing it here. How do you find that? Sum of n terms. What is the formula? It is n by 2 into 2a plus n minus 1 into d. Okay. Now what are these terms here? It's a formula for calculating sum of n terms in an AP series. What's an AP series? An AP series is a series where the numbers repeat after some common difference, right? So here in this case, the numbers are repeating after every 12 numbers, right? So 24 plus 12 is 36, plus 12 is 48, plus 12, plus 12. So the difference, the common difference is 12. Okay, 12 is something that is being added every time, right? And then what is the first term? A is the first term, okay, which is 24. Okay, let's substitute in this particular formula. Okay, Sn is n by 2 into 2a plus n minus 1 into d. N is the number of terms that we wanted to add. Okay, in this case you are supposed to find the sum of 50 common terms. Therefore I'm substituting n as 50. So 50 by 2 into 2a. What is a? The first term, it is 24. So 2 into 24, okay, plus n minus 1 into d. What is n? Number of terms 50 minus 1 into d. What is the common difference? It is 12. Okay, so this is what we get. So 50 by 2 is 25 into, this is 48, plus 50 minus 1 is 49 into 12, right? So if you simplify this, you get the answer. Is this clear? We have taken the first series, we have taken the second series. So on observation, we have found out that the first common term is 24, the second common term is 36, and the third common term is 48. That way we have generated a common term series. We've realized that the common term series is an AP series, that is an arithmetic progression series technically, right? Where the numbers repeat after every 12 numbers, right? So A is 24, the first term, and you know the common difference is 12, and you can apply the same, I mean you can substitute the same in the formula, the general formula for finding the sum of n terms. Okay, on substitution you get this calculation to be done. Is that clear? Sir, should we keep finding the, I mean, on, so if you remember, we have observed the two series and then we have written down the common term series, right? Should we do this every time is the question. Okay, should we do this every time? Okay, let's see. Please remember, we need not do this every time. We need not have to write down the series. What we can rather do is take the, you'll just have to find the first common term. Okay, in this case, what is the first common term that we have found out? It is 24, so that should be a. Okay, then to find the common difference, what you can do is take the LCM of the two common differences. Okay, clearly these two are AP series, isn't it? So in this case, for the first series the common difference is 4. Okay, so D1 is 4. Okay, and for the second series the common difference is 6. Therefore the common difference of the common term series is LCM of 4 and 6. 4 is a common difference of the first series and 6 is the common difference of second series. Therefore, the common difference is LCM of 4 and 6. What is it? It is 12. That is how we get this 12 directly. Okay, you need not have to write down all the terms and check whether they are coinciding somewhere or not. You just have to find the first, only the first common term. Okay, if you just find the first common term, common difference can be found out using this. Okay, once you find the common difference and you have the first common term a, then you can figure out the sum of n number of terms that is asked in the question. Is this clear to everyone? It's a very important question and it involves a bit of calculations. Okay, now what is the highest power of 2 in the following expression? 1800 into 25 into 4 power 8. Let me write it here again. 1800 into 25 into 4 power 8 into 21 square into 45 power minus 2. Okay, now clearly we know that logically, with common sense you can say that 25 doesn't have a 2 involved in it, right? 25 doesn't have a 2. Similarly 21, does it have a 2? No. Why? Because 21 is 3 into 7. Okay, so it doesn't have a 2 as a factor. So this doesn't have 21, this doesn't have 2. 45 power minus 2, even this doesn't have a 2, right? Because 45 is what? 15, 3 is 45. So this is an odd number and this doesn't involve 2. So we are only concerned about 1800 into 4 power 8. So 1800, I'm splitting it as 18 into 100 into 4 power 8. We are supposed to find the power of 2 in this terms. That should suffice, right? 18. So how many? What is the power of 2 in 18? So what is 18? It is 2 into 9, right? I'm writing it here. 18 is only 2 into 9. So what's the power of 2 it has? It's only 1. Okay, it has only 1 power of 2. Similarly, let's take 100. So how can we split 100? We can split 100 as 2 into 50. That is 4. We can take it as 4, right? 4 into 25. Okay, so what is the highest power of 2 here in 100? For 100, the highest power of 2 is how much it is? 2. Because you have a 4 term here. 4 into 25 is 100. Therefore, the highest power of 2 is 2. 2 square, right? 2 square. Similarly, for 4 power 8, what is it? Let's try to write it in terms of 2. Okay, so 4 can be written as 2 square. So 2 square whole power 8, which is 2 power 16. Therefore, the highest power of 2 is 16. Therefore, in the first term 18, the highest power of 2 is 1. In the second term 100, the highest power of 2 is 2. In the third term, the highest power of 2 is 16. So what is the effective answer? 16 plus 2 plus 1. So 16 plus 2 plus 1. 16 plus 2 plus 1. So the answer is 19. So the highest power of 2 in this expression is 19. Let me repeat what we have done here. We are just ignoring the numbers that don't have 2 in them. 25, 21 square and 45 power minus 2, they are ignored for the same reason. Now we are only remind of 1800 and 4 power 8. So further we have split 1800 as 18 and 100. In 18 we only have 1 power of 2 because 18 is 2 into 9. Similarly in 100 the highest power of 2 is 4. Okay, so 4 into 25. Therefore it is 4. So 4 is what? 2 square. So the power of 2 is 2. So that's why we have written it as 2. Similarly, for the last term 4 power 8, we have 2 square whole power 8. So it is 2 power 16. So the answer is 16 plus 2 plus 1, that is 19. Is that clear? Okay, the next question. Two pipes A and B can separately fill a cistern in 220 minutes and 330 minutes. So A can fill in 220 minutes and then B can fill in 330 minutes. Okay, how do we solve this question? See, it's only a question that's involving two pipes and it's an exact question. Okay, in how many ways can two pipes fill if they are open together? So when only two pipes are there, I'll just give a formula directly here, which is A into B by A plus B. Okay, with no constraints. If A can fill in A minutes and B can fill in B minutes, together they can fill the tank in A into B by A plus B minutes. Remember this, okay? In this case, what is it? What is A given as? It is A alone can fill in 220 minutes, and then B alone can fill in 330 minutes. Together they can fill in 220. Sorry, it is the formula we are just substituting here. A into B by A plus B. I've substituted A here, B here, and here A and B again. So effectively we have 220 into 330 by 220 plus 330. I'm writing it here again. 220 into 330 by 220 plus 330 is how much it is? 550. Clearly all these are multiples of 11s. 11 2 is 22, 0. 11 5s, it is 0. And then 0, 0 is gone. 5 1s, 5 4s, 20. So the answer is 4 into 33. Okay, which is how much? It is 4 3s, 4 30s. So it is 120 plus 12, it is 132 minutes. So together they can fill the tank in 132 minutes. What have we done here? We have just used a formula directly, right? Because A into B by A plus B is a formula for calculating the number of minutes that two pipes take without any constraints, right? Here there are no constraints, therefore we can use the formula directly. So what if there are constraints? Okay, so what we can do is that, let me also give you the conventional way which can be solved. So it is 330 minutes, right? So let's assume the capacity of the tank to avoid the fractions. We'll assume the capacity of the tank to be a value that is both a multiple of 220 as well as 330. So what is the value? Clearly 660 is a value which is both a multiple of 220 and 330, right? So let's assume the capacity of the cistern to be 660 liters. So now A takes 220 minutes to fill 660 liters, right? So in every minute, how much volume does it fill? It is 660 by 220. So it is 3 liters every minute. So A fills 3 liters every minute. Similarly, B takes 330 minutes to fill 660 liters. Therefore, each minute it fills 2 liters. How do we get to 660 by 330? How did we get 3? 660 by 220, isn't it? Therefore, now they are open together. Therefore, together they can fill how many liters in a minute? 3 plus 2, that is 5. 5 liters in a minute. In a minute, they can fill 5 liters. So, in 6 to fill 660 liters, how much time do they take? 660 divided by 5. So, what is the answer? 5 ones, 5 ones, 5, 16, 5 3 is 15. It is 2. So, the answer is 132 minutes. So, this is a general method. Okay, as in we can solve any question using this method. Okay, we have assumed the value of the cistern to be a multiple of these two values so that fractions are not involved. Clearly there are no fractions, isn't it? If there are no constraints given, you can always use this formula A into B by A plus B, but trust me, rarely do we get such questions. So it's always better to know this method where we assume the value of the capacity. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Sum of squares of two numbers is 2754. Okay, sum of squares of two numbers, it is 2 7 5 and 4. HCF of the numbers, so we are also given a HCF of the numbers which is 9, and then LCM is also given which is 135. Okay, now what are the numbers? I think everyone knows this particular relation. HCF of two numbers into LCM of those two numbers is always equal to product of those two numbers. Let's say A and B are the numbers, A comma B are the numbers. Therefore, HCF of A and B into LCM of A and B will always be equal to product of A and B. Please remember this. Okay. Let's see if this particular relation helps us to get the values. Now, since HCF is 9, I'll assume the two numbers to be 9x and 9y. Okay, let me repeat. Since HCF of the numbers is 9, what does HCF mean? They don't have anything else in common if not 9. So the highest common factor is 9. Therefore, I'll assume the values to be the value of the numbers to be 9a and 9b. Okay, where a and b should be co-prime. They should be co-prime. Why? What do you mean by co-prime first? They should not have anything else in common. Let's say they have something in common. Let's say A and B have 3 in common. So the HCF, then the HCF would be 9 3 is 27, right? But the HCF is exactly 9. Therefore, A and B should not have any common factor. Let's say, they can be values like, 3 and, say 13, right? A and B can be 3 comma 13. I'm just giving a random value. Is that clear? This can be a possible value for A and B. So the values I'm assuming to be 9A and 9B. Okay, let's use this relation now. HCF into LCM. What is HCF? It is 9 into what is LCM? It is 135 is equal to product of numbers 9A into 9B, where A and B are co-prime. Okay, clearly they are multiples of 9. 9 ones 9, 9 ones 9 ones 9, and then 45, 9 5 is 45. So we've got A and B as 15. A into B is equal to 15. Okay, what are the possible values for A into B being 15? So the values can be what? 1 into 15, or the only other possibility is 3 into 5. So there are only two possibilities. So A and B can be either 1 comma 15 or 3 comma 5, right? But there is one more condition to be satisfied, which is the square of the two numbers. Sum of square of the two numbers is 2754. Therefore, this is given sum of squares of two numbers 9A square plus 9B square. Okay, sum of squares of two numbers, that should be equal to 2754. I'll take 81 common here. 9 square, that is 81 common, just to simplify things, is equal to 2754. We can cancel, right? 9 9s 81, 9 3s 27, 0, 9 6 54. Similarly 9 1s 9 3s 27, 9 4s 36. So A square plus B square should be equal to 34. Okay, now we have got two conditions here. AB can be either 1 comma 15 or 3 comma 5, and then similarly A square plus B square should be 34. See, you can look at it and directly say the values of A and B should be 3 and 5, right? They can't be 1 and 15. Why? Because 1 square plus 15 square, is it equal to 34? No. 1 square plus 15 square is 225. Therefore A square plus B square, for it to be being 24, the values of A and B should be 3 and 5. Let's check. 3 square plus 5 square. What is 3 square? It is 9. What is 5 square? 25. What is 9 plus 25? It is 34. Yes, this condition is satisfied. Therefore, A comma B should be 3 and 5. Okay, so what are the numbers then? Are the numbers A and B? No, numbers are 9A comma 9B. So 9 into 3 comma 9 into 5. 9 into 3 is 27. 9 into 5 is 45. So the numbers should be 27 and 54 to satisfy all the conditions.